Looks like we are live streaming right about now. Sweet. What in the world is... I guess that's one of the notification things. Sweet. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Madam B and Narik Reviews.
Hi.
Yeah, she said hi. It has been a long time coming. We're going to be talking about Black Panther. Now, I made a separate review, and I'll probably try to post that up tonight. So y'all be able to see my specific thoughts on it. But, you know, we're going to talk about this movie together. Black Panther recently just came out. And we've seen it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It wasn't up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe
like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Some weeks ago. Okay.
I'm for talk like that boy. The one.
Nope. Be professional.
Anyway, we were watching Black Panther. Of course, we had to come back and talk about this. And what were your initial thoughts on the movie?
Well, like everybody else, I was excited. Even though I don't really get into the superhero genre or whatever. But, you know, I was excited. I'm like, okay, let's see what this movie is about. Yay. After the movie, you know, it was alright, but then, of course, I started seeing some key points in the movie that I was like, huh? But I did like it. You know, I like how they went along with it and how it all started. You know, stuff like that.
I honestly, and I read this my honest truth. When we left the movies, when we was at the movies, I was thinking to myself, watching, I'm like, man, first I thought it was boring. I was like, man, I'm actually bored.
Really?
Yeah. And then when I left the movies, I actually felt that urge to be like, yeah, that was a good movie. But I was like, I walked away from it like this. I honestly felt that way. And I was like, that's why you didn't see me like hype after the movie.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, during the movie, like I said, at some points in the movie, I was like, no, that shouldn't have said that, or maybe it shouldn't have been in there.
That, like, it's a movie that you should watch. I'd say everybody should watch it. My biggest problem was, it was just, if you look beneath the hype, because the whole hype of the movie isn't that it's a Black Panther movie. It's about, because it's a black cast. That's what it is.
That's why, right now it is the highest ranking superhero movie of all time. And that, if they would actually just look at the movie, and like,
it has a lot of problems.
It does have a lot of problems, but the only reason, and if somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but the only reason, because they are so high, is because of the black cast.
Black cast.
Everybody knows that they need to say it, and, you know, just say it, and yeah, people feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's basically the thing about the movie. The reason why it's so hyped is because there are a lot of superhero movies out there that were better than this movie and didn't gross no $1 billion.
Yeah, I didn't go because of the black cast. I went because, okay, this is going to be a good movie, superhero, and how he or they deal with whatever, like, actual problems. And
the only reason I went to go see it is because I liked his portrayal in Captain America Civil War. Mm-hmm. Captain America Civil War, he was badass. He was like one of the highlights of the movie. But in this movie, I honestly did not feel that same way. Y'all see it in my review, and probably going to touch on it now. So, the story of Black Panther is this. You have T'Challa, who comes home, and now he has to be king because his father died in Captain America Civil War. Even though the timing does seem kind of a little off in some ways. But father died. So, in wake of this, you have a new bad guy, Killmonger, who's trying to take revenge against T'Challa for what his father did to his father.
The tribe. Take revenge against the tribe. And because T'Challa is king instead of him.
So that's basically the movie. Killmonger comes in and wants to take over, and there are some other little side things they have going on. Killmonger's motivation is pro-black. Every black people are always oppressed. White people, a white man is the oppressor and everything. And to some extent, I understood what he's. Let's talk about Killmonger. I honestly like Killmonger because he did have kind of an understandable motivation, and he actually had personality. Now I don't like the fact that he was hood, and the whole thing that they made behind him, like he's like the most badass, and Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, all of that stuff. He's like the most badass soldier ever, or whatever. Like I didn't see that in the movie. I know he was ruthless and he was fierce. I saw that, but like everything surrounding his character didn't really support his character. Because think about it, he was with that woman. The movie never established what their relationship was, or her motivations, or anything. And then he ended up killing her.
And the man, which I thought maybe since they didn't get Claw in, was it Civil War, that it would be about.
No, Claw was in Age of Ultron.
So Claw killed his dad, right?
No, it was another guy.
Well, I thought that's what they said.
No, Claw bombed Wakanda.
Okay.
And the dad was killed by somebody else in another place.
Well, anyway, that was T'Challa's thing to go after Claw. And it wasn't, he didn't even get to kill him. So, but it was like, Killmonger didn't need Claw. He was this special ops dude. He had all of this. He didn't need Claw. Claw was just an extra, really, in the movie. He didn't need him. He could have went and done what he was gonna do.
Yeah, without Claw.
Without all of that.
Okay. We generally have an order. Okay, the story really wasn't original because we've seen that a son had to take up the reins as king, but had to deal with another issue. Sometimes it is a family member stepping in to challenge that right. They did that in The Lion King, I think. The second one, where Simba was king, but I think the Scar's wife wanted to be king, or Scar's wife wanted her son to be king.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it was a pretty good story behind that. But that story wasn't really original. And there are some points in the story that, like I said, it felt really slow. And I can understand him becoming king and having to deal with the issues, but like you never seen any issues that popped up that he had to really deal with.
Not with Wakanda.
Yeah, it was like the whole issue was Claw. That was it. Like there was nothing else. They didn't say people were starving in there. They didn't do none of that.
I mean, like he knew one day that he would eventually become king, so he should have been training for that. It shouldn't have been no surprise to him to like
he was trained for it, but this is and I didn't like this either because somebody did pick up on this in the car, and I was like, yeah, I see that. He was so unsure of himself, but he was older, so he shouldn't been so unsure. You know, and I can understand him missing his father, but he's like, Dad, I can't do this without you. That's something like Spider-Man would say. You know what I mean? Because he's younger. I mean, this guy, you say, hey, Dad, it's hard without you, but I'm thinking about you, but I am ready for what has to be done. You don't really see that. And that goes back to what I was saying about Black Panther and Captain America Civil War. You didn't see that same assertiveness, that same badassery, that same confidence. Like, you go back and see that movie, he was like badass. He didn't question nothing. He knew what he was going to do. He knew what he wanted to do. And in this one, he was like, It
was like a mixture, like, because he had his feelings kind of got caught up in it with the girl.
Which
and
I liked her, but they.
And then, so he was like half of them over here, and then half of them with with trying to get Claw, and then all of a sudden Killmonger come in. So
I want to know. Okay, she didn't want to be his woman, but she was going out there doing secret agent stuff. But I'm like, what was she doing? She was like, she was trying to help other people. But I'm like, what are you doing? Because as far as I could see, what was it? She was in the back of a truck of kidnapped women. But I was like, it wasn't like she released them.
Right. He was sent to retrieve her.
I mean, I guess she told him, and that's why he came. But I'm like, what are you actually doing? You're not, like, doing anything. Like, we don't see what you're doing. We see you doing that secret agent stuff, but are you, like, setting up schools, showing people how to garden, protecting people? I don't know. Training them, educating them. Like, what are you doing if you actually want to help other people? That's what type of stuff you should be doing. And I felt like their relationship, even though it was kind of a strong point in the story, I wish they could have done it a little bit better because it really wasn't important.
Right.
It wasn't like important. It wasn't like she was about to die or. In fact, when he almost got killed, I don't remember her breaking down, crying, talking about some. You know what I mean? Or show regret, or when they brought him back or whatever. Which, again, I will admit to this because I picked up on it when I was watching it. When they had the whole fight scene with him without his powers, he wasn't nothing. He always got beat up. Yeah, he beat the big dude, but it was basically like a cheat move. Yeah. Even with so like the whole Black Panther part of the movie I did not like because it was downplayed. Other people have said it, and I'm saying it too. It was downplayed. Everybody else got a better moment in this movie than he did. When Okoye did that with the car, it was cool. And Okoye, she was badass. She was like one of my favorite characters in the movie.
That was the one with the
spear.
Yeah, okay.
When she did that with the car, I was like, no. Because that moment took away from Black Panther. Just what she did. She threw the spear. She rode on top of a car, for one thing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know how the hell she did that. She threw the spear over the other car. It hit the ground, and then the car hit that and flipped. It hit the spear and flipped. And I was like, you should have gave that moment to Black Panther. Let him be a badass. Let that be some stuff that you can do, but not this. Black Widow can't even do that. She did, God, and she done fought gods and robots.
Well, I actually, and to be honest, I do remember some of the stuff that she did, and it was like every time she was in like a fight, it is like it overthrew him. Like, yes. Okay, I remember her moments, but not his.
Because he didn't have any. The only moment he might have had was the whole thing where he ran on the side of the building, jumped on the car, and then flipped the car with his when he busted the messed up the tire. It was a cool scene, but it wasn't. That was it. You didn't see him whoop ass or nothing like that. The Okoye best sequence, the two best sequences she had. One was when all hell broke loose in the casino, and you saw her fighting, mm-hmm. and she was spinning the spears. I was like, "That's badass. That's really badass." And then the other sequence she had where, and this is stupid, but I thought it was kind of cute when her husband was charging at her with the rhino at the one dude, the gorilla guy, and then she stepped in front of him. Then the rhino stopped and then started licking her face because she
like you know better.
Yeah, they're like, and I liked her character. I did like the other girl, the one he liked. I did like his sister. But I didn't like her attitude. I can understand her being playful towards him because she's younger. But there is like, and I know some people didn't like that she was playful to him. But I think I understand because she's younger, so she would kind of be playful to her older brother.
But she knows enough to run that whole lab.
That I didn't like because I don't buy that with Tony Stark either. Like. Look, you can be the smartest man in the world or whatever, but you ain't gonna know everything. With your Iron Man suit, you can't control every aspect of it. Somebody else has to know something. You might be good with the engineering, the other person might be good with the electrical, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like with her, look, you can be smart, but you can't know how to do every freaking thing. There got to be some stuff that you don't know. As far as the engineering wise, you might be good with the weaponry. Somebody else might be good with building cars. You know what I'm saying? And in these movies, they make her a little too smart. They do the Tony Stark thing, where they make her a little too smart, and I'm like, I don't kind of buy it now. That's kind of my biggest thing with Iron Man too. It's like, you can. I understand you build the Iron Man suit, but some of this stuff you can't know everything. You cannot know every aspect of this. No, even if you are a genius, still wouldn't stop that. And even though they say technically she's actually smarter than him, but I did like her character. And they had a superb cast. Like they had a really good cast. But the biggest problem with Black Panther is the writing, and some of the CGI too. Because the part where Killmonger and T'Challa are fighting, did not like it because it wasn't a fight. It was just CGI, and they were like, but you didn't see them actually fight. All the other NC, like Hulk versus Thor. That was a fight. Yeah, Hulk is in CGI, but you saw them throwing blows. You didn't see that in Black Panther, especially between them two. And I wish they would have had their moment where, they had their little moment when they were fighting with the weapons and stuff, and that was all right. But you would see two Black Panthers go at it. You want to see them two guys in suits actually fighting, and we didn't really get that.
Besides the, like you said, it's an awesome cast, like, and then you said, like, the writing, I think they just, when they got the cast, they was like, well, people gonna be looking at the color, the blackness of it, and the cast, so this kind of went a little limp on the writing. Because,
again, it was said, and I agree with it, what it was said. Killmonger was planning to take these advanced weaponries to black folks across the world to, quote unquote, free themselves from oppression. Thing about it is, we don't know who he was delivering this stuff to. He didn't never establish any plan. They didn't never establish him talking with other people, setting up all of this. You know what I mean?
No, it was like, because as soon as he got up in there, after he burned all that, he had like weapons ready to go. But to who?
Yeah, they never established who. He never said who. He didn't say, I got a contact in London at this certain address, and or even got on the phone, be like, okay, I've come to power. Get all your troops ready. Nothing. None of that was ever even talked about. Somebody else said this too. If Killmonger had it out for Wakanda as much as he did, and he knew about Wakanda the whole time, why didn't he challenge T'Challa's dad? Because his dad is older. So he would be less in his prime. And I thought about that. I was like, okay, that does make sense.
Okay.
You wouldn't challenge T'Challa because T'Challa's in his prime. But his dad ain't. Dad is older. So you got youth on your side. So I agree. I kind of agree with that one too. And the whole message of the movie, I guess, is supposed to be like black empowerment or whatever. Fine. And I like Martin Freeman. He's one of my favorite actors. He should not have been in this movie. His complete role could have been broken up and given to other characters. Yes, it'd been cool for him to be in the movie.
Martin Freeman was...
He was the white guy.
Okay.
Like, his role could have been broken up to other people. Like, you have the moment where he got shot. And they were talking about taking him back to Wakanda. I'm like, why they couldn't have Okoye get shot? That's somebody that's personal to T'Challa, and that would create a certain amount of urgency. Mm-hmm. So you would understand.
And and T'Challa's like fuel his aggression, his anger toward
Claw and Killmonger.
Yeah, so that way, but no, he somebody he did not know.
He knew him, but he didn't know him. He wasn't like a close person or nothing like that.
No, it wasn't personal.
There was that. Then there was another part where Martin Freeman's character is flying the ship, trying to stop the weapons, but you could have easily had T'Challa's sister do that because she was walking them through it. So I'm like, why you took that moment from her? That would make sense. Or had another Wakandan, like there was no other Wakandans up in there when all this stuff was going down. Even with the big massive battle and all that. Now I will say I did like the outfits, especially with the whole vibranium absorbent thing and the release the energy.
Yeah.
Like I said, the movie had and the soundtrack is fantastic. I'll give them that. It was a great blend of African inspired themes as well as hip hop. So, and then the whole black empowerment thing, they laid it thick. They laid it straight up thick.
Yeah, like this gonna stick in your head until the day you die. Oh, my bad.
And then this is what I mean by thick. Like Killmonger's talking about waging war on the world with invest weaponry, black folks take everybody else out or control them or whatever. But I'm like, if you were that, if you would actually consider in that aspect of that, if you're actually talking about doing that, why you just didn't get the unfortunate blacks with the wealth that you have in Wakanda and bring them to Wakanda? And therefore builds up your nation so that way there won't be no oppression. You'll be on top. Why not bring people to Africa and do that?
Right. He did it with just himself and a whole bunch of people that actually stayed in Wakanda who's like, we don't know him. He just said he's king. So, and then they probably try to overthrow him. But
that's what I'm saying. Like that would have been the plan. He could have said, okay, look. Oh, just scratch the whole delivering weapons to everyone. He was like, I've been around the world. I've seen blacks in oppression. What we need to do is bring those blacks here. We can build up Africa. We'll own Africa. Africa will be the mightiest nation on the world. Why he didn't do that? Why sit there and say, well, we're going to go and burn them all? Why not do that? That makes sense. It takes a hell of a lot less effort to bring everybody in than to sit there and try to wage war on everybody. And then what he said did not make any sense. He said we're going to give these weapons to other black folks across the planet and let them rise above their oppressors. But I'm thinking to myself, the oppressors use these type of weapons. Black folks have these type of weapons. Black folks aren't using those weapons to fight their oppressors. So if you give these weapons to other blacks, ain't there a good chance that some of those people you're trying to fight against is going to pick up on some of the weapons too?
Yeah.
That's dumb. Like, it was dumb. It was dumb. And there really aren't any memorable action sequences in this movie at all. There really aren't. Like I said, the best one I could actually say is the part in the casino where you see Okoye do that thing that she did. I mean, like, the movie has some cool stuff in it. The cars, with the holographic cars, the sister was driving it, but she wasn't even there. Like, that was tight. It made sense. That was cool. Some of the weapons and stuff, okay, I was good. I liked it. It was pretty good. It just, this might not be no Narik and Bannaby. We might well make this a break of the base. I'm changing that. But even with some of the humor, I thought was all right. But I kind of thought it was, at the same time, like, it shouldn't have been in the movie.
Maybe too black.
It's too forced. It was too forced. That was more my, like, the way Wakanda looks was, like, fantastic. Look, the look of the city, the technology, the people, the culture, the landscape, just everything about the movie on that level was just beautiful, just straight up beautiful, and I really enjoyed the look of it all. But like I said, some of my biggest pet peeves was the whole CGI fight between Killmonger and T'Challa, which I would have liked to seen them two just. And it was a mixture. It was doing a thing where it was like 3 battles were going on at the same time. I wish it could have been just those two. Maybe Killmonger's men got beat or whatever, and they both just sit down and say, all right, we're going to handle this right here, right now, just me and you. That's what I would have liked to see.
Because they were basically fighting against themselves. The Wakandas against Wakandas. Because some had joined Killmonger and others were still on T'Challa's side. Maybe if, they said he was Black Ops, if he would have brought some
it should have been more people.
A couple hundred men over with him, and let the Wakandans against Killmonger's men.
That would have made sense. And that was that would have made sense. Because he did go by himself, and again, that would have gave us some people he would have been close to. Maybe the girl that he shot, maybe she could have been the contact, the in-between person.
Right.
And when he comes in and does his thing, these other people come in also and help solidify his power. And instead of it being Wakandans versus Wakandans, it would have been Wakandans versus his forces. Because his friend, that dude that was his best friend, his best friend turned on him. Like that.
Right.
Which I thought was weird. And then all of the people at the end when they tried to kill him, I'm like, there's literally no loyalty. They turned on him and it wasn't at first they kind of questioned it because he was attack him, and then they was
That's the man from Get Out, right?
Yeah. And then his best friend was like, fuck it.
All them years, by his side, and then, what?
And the whole transition of him becoming king and stuff. Killmonger becoming king was just nobody questioned it. What was the first thing that happened when he got beat?
They put the
first thing, they did that too. The first thing they did was his family dipped.
Oh yeah.
They dipped. And that was literally no power struggle. And a YouTuber I said this, and you know who I'm talking about, said that Okoye and her husband did not have an actual moment where we got to see their relationship.
Right.
Every time
I didn't even know they were married.
Every time you saw their relationship, it was in a formal setting. They was at the table in a council or something like that. And the other time is they was on the battlefield. So it's you never actually got to see their relationship. And I think it would have been nice to actually see Okoye in not just being a general, just to actually see her as a character, a woman actually, and at her home. And I would have liked to have seen their relationship, and that kind of goes back to T'Challa and the other chick. I would have liked to see a bit more of theirs. Yes, they did have some moments here and there, but I wanted to see a bit more strength to it. That was a thing right there. They never really addressed T'Challa never came out and said what his dad did, and the part where his dad admitted, I didn't think of it when I saw the movie, but when I heard it, I was like, yeah, they got a point. The dad killed his brother, who is Killmonger's dad, and straight up left.
Of course, yeah. Left Killmonger there.
Mm-hmm.
Knew he was of Wakandan blood, but did not take him back. And the boy knew, because they showed that scene with him and his dad. He was he said something, and the boy, of course, did his look like that, so he knew. And then he was...
And they left all the secrets and weapons and stuff there. So I was like, yeah, you're right. Although I did like the thing where the dude was like, man, there's some Grace Jones chicks looking outside. So I did like that. The movie could have been better, and we'll go ahead and we're going to make this a break of the base. Might as well. It's 29 minutes. Just discussion. But anyways, these are some things they could have done to make Black Panther a better movie. And I want to see if you agree with me. Give us a little backstory on Killmonger. How he grew up, how he got connected, the way he would have got connected. Because the beginning of the movie probably would have flown a little bit better had you seen a little bit more on Killmonger's upbringing. Say him getting in trouble in the streets, him possibly going to jail, him transferring to jail, his time in jail, going into the military. That's how he ends up making the contacts. That's how he gets trained. give us a bit more exposition on Killmonger. That would have worked out a lot better.
I mean, they can't do that now in 2, so they just cut his quick. I think they was maybe Killmonger got what do you call that? Kind of got up on T'Challa, of course, and maybe they killed him in the first one because they didn't want it to be, because they said it was going to be a 2. They didn't want it to bring over his popularity in the second.
Oh yeah, he stood out more than everybody in the movie stood out more than T'Challa. And again with T'Challa, we were talking about, he could have had better moments. All the moments you try to make everybody else look badass, especially Okoye, because her riding on that car, and I'm like, no. Guy in the movies, I was like, it's cool, but no, that should have been T'Challa doing that. But I don't
even his sister with her guns, with her handguns, and just boom, boom.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So she was like out there.
It just made T'Challa have the moment. Make the story about T'Challa. You can't say a movie about Black Panther and they don't make it about Black Panther. You might always call the movie Wakanda. Then it would have been a better setting. Wakanda, Rise of the Black Panther, something like Fall of the Black Panther, or something. I don't know. The Black Panther rises. But that was give T'Challa better moments, because like I said, if any of y'all go back and watch Civil War, he practically owned that movie. The fights he had with Captain America, the fights he had with Bucky, the fight he had with Hawkeye was a lot better than all the fights he had in this movie. And
his mom, and this was set in this time, right? It wasn't in the 18s, nothing. No. So his mama, Angela Bassett, I wanted her to actually grow some and stand up for. I mean, they do that, over there, like the queen mother. She has say. I mean, she just.
Yeah, she didn't do nothing.
She was just there. I'm like, no, this is Angela Bassett. Come on now, at least do something.
Yeah,
Come on,
she didn't.
Tina.
Yeah, she didn't. Well, you know what happened. That's why. Tina came out. You're right. She didn't have any moment in the movie. The dude, Forrest Whitaker's character, he had more of a prominent role, but he still didn't really get to do anything too. And I heard this and I didn't think about it, but it's true. They never brought him back up.
They didn't.
They did not. I was like, gosh. Now I did like the guy that played the guerrilla leader guy, because he was pretty. And that whole bit he did with Martin Freeman was hilarious. Like every time he started try to talk, he started barking at him.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did like that. But like I said, the biggest problem with Black Panther is the writing. They could have dialed back on the whole pro-black thing. Yet let it be an underlining theme, but don't make it as in your face as it was in that movie. And then on top of that, not only was it in your face, it wasn't even fully done. Like I said, if you're going to do this whole Black Panther thing where Killmonger is going to rise, do all this, and make Wakanda great again, do this in a smart way. You're not going to sit here and get all these people guns across the planet. No, do what Wakanda did. You isolate yourself. Bring them here. You could have literally, with that king power that he had, brought ships over there in the middle of the night and went to Brooklyn or wherever he was, and loaded up all the black folks, and then brought them to Wakanda and showed them a new life. Or went to Brooklyn and then had a building sealed off, and then had your people, the people in the neighborhood, come in, and you say, "Hey, I have a way for you to have a better life. Come with me." Makes more sense than to go to war. Or if you're going to go to war, you at least could have brought all your soldiers to Africa first, then showed off what you could have done.
Right. Because Killmonger shouldn't have been by himself with that. He should have had
a network.
More people who thought like he did. He didn't have nobody. All of this revenge and all of that, and it was just wasted.
And then they were talking, because I can understand how Wakandans were saying, well, let the world do their thing. We'll be okay. Because it's kind of like saying you live in a neighborhood, and a dude in one house you got a crackhead, in another house you got someone who beats his wife, in another house, in all these 6 houses that surround your house, something's going on, but your house is calm and is at peace.
Right, be like Switzerland, neutral.
Yeah, you don't want to bother them. And even it would have been better if you seen a scene where Killmonger, which this would have helped out the movie too. Killmonger could have been talking to a warlord. The warlord was responsible for those girls getting kidnapped at the beginning of the movie. That way you could have linked the action that part had with Killmonger. And Killmonger could have told the warlords, "Hey, how about you work with me and we go to Wakanda and we can get this power." That'd have been another thing, because it's like you could have at least united Africa, but you didn't even do that.
And then they're like, "Well, there's no such thing as Wakanda," but he already knew. He knew where the vibranium was in the museum. He told that woman, "You don't know what you're talking about." He told the woman, "all like, nah, I know where this come from."
Now, and this, I don't like the hood aspect of him.
I really don't.
I didn't like that. Yes, he could have been from the hood, but he should have shown a little bit sophistication, which he kind of did during that part, because he kind of did. Maybe it's because he was just wearing the glasses, because after that, he didn't wear the glasses no more. But
right.
Like, he looks kind of sophisticated. Then he started talking.
Maybe walked in there casual-like. And be like, okay, I mean, if he was going to plan on stealing it anyway, but okay, you know where this is from? It's like, yeah, this is from... Like, well, no. My sources say, something like that. Carry on a conversation rather than tell the woman, "You wrong. Get out of here." Like, yeah.
Or like going back to what you said about the forces, him having forces coming in. Claw could have led those forces, and that would have gave that. And say had the sister and the old girl and Okoye fight off Claw while Killmonger fought T'Challa. That would have been. And that would have killed, again, all that. All of the Wakandans were fighting each other. Because the point of Killmonger was uniting black folks. He went to Wakanda, was tearing the place up. So I'm like, what are you talking about? And I didn't like T'Challa's portrayal, because he's supposed to be, and somebody said this and I agree with it, supposed to be a serious, driven, confident character. They said he should have been a mixture of Wolverine, be deadly like Wolverine, but be just as regal and stand up as Batman. That both of them have confidence about themselves. Both of them have a really good presence. You didn't get that. I didn't get no back. I mean, I guess the only moment you might say he might have had a moment was the beginning when he did the Black Panther thing and the trees and stuff.
Okay.
Like that, yes, because it kind of showed what he could do in the darkness, even though you don't really see it because of the editing and stuff. But like, it's it's an enjoyable movie. It's enjoyable. You can watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, they just took the black thing a little bit too far, trying to make black people seem like we are mightier, or they are mightier than, and put it all in this movie. But I've never read the Black Panther comics, but I guess they didn't try to. And
I've never liked Black Panther. I ain't like Black Panther till Civil War. That's what got me interested, because he was badass in Civil War. I mean, could y'all imagine if you were watching Wonder Woman and the entire movie of Wonder Woman is showing how men can't do anything. All the men, everybody else kept showing up Wonder Woman. Like, no. In Wonder Woman, what happened? She had some really cool, memorable scenes. Mm-hmm. But everybody else had done their part that was balanced. But she still was in the forefront.
She kicked ass.
So I'm like, we should have got that from Black Panther. And I have to say that was a big disappointment. And honestly, it was a disappointment to me. I was disappointed. I wish I could have came out of that movie like, man, can't wait for the sequel. Came out of that movie like, why in the hell they messed this movie up like that? I still enjoyed some parts of it. I thought it was a fun movie to check out. And by all means, go check out the movie. But for those who think this is like the best movie since Sliced Bread, I don't know if there's a movie called Sliced Bread, but
now it's just like I said in the beginning. The only reason why they have all of that and why it's up like that is because of
the whole first black superhero full cast.
That's the only reason.
Yeah,
and you cannot tell me another reason.
And Black Panther is not the first black superhero on film. You got Blade, you got Hancock, and hell on TV you got Luke Cage. And they got Black Lightning.
Right.
So they've got other black superheroes in the film and TV. In fact, I'm going to look up some more of them while we're talking right now.
And even Wesley Snipes said that he had wanted to play Black Panther back in the day, but they said it wasn't a good idea or something like that. And I still have read some people's notes and videos and saying that Blade is like Wesley Snipes' Blade is like the best right now. That still is the best, and he could pull it off.
Yeah, and the way Blade is how T'Challa's supposed to be.
Yeah, Blade was like just come on now, serious and
ruthless. He was ready.
He wouldn't let nobody get to him. He would let no woman get to him. Even the woman he saved in Blade, he wouldn't let her get to him.
How did you feel about T'Challa in that chick's relationship? Because I felt it was kind of kiddish. I mean, yes, they liked each other, but he was like, and maybe it's because I did hear somebody else talk about this. It was like he was pining for a little too hard. He
was, because they're grown, so it's either yes, I like you, or no, I don't. Mm-hmm. You know, don't be a simp. You're a Black Panther. Don't do that.
Here go 3 of them. Like you had Catwoman, even though Halle Berry is not black. She's mixed. You have Hancock. Really liked Hancock. Of course, you got Blade. Really like Blade. Still, we are not talking about that movie. That movie was horrible. Shaq cannot act. Spawn could have been better.
It could have.
Blank Man.
Who?
Blank Man. The Wayans brothers made that.
Okay.
I talked about that. Meteor Man. I would love to see a reboot.
Okay.
And Catwoman, which I said Catwoman ain't. I mean, in like some of the newer comics and stuff, she's black. She's kind of mixed. So I guess Halle Berry did play it, but don't put her on this list of black superheroes because she's not. Wrong with y'all people. But that's pretty much it. Look, there's a lot of black superheroes out there too. And the thing, like I said, the thing about this movie is a lot of people, like she said, and I said it too, it's just because it was a whole black cast. It was supposed to be. They try to make it sound like he's the first black superhero. He is
like
not.
Everybody was like already. They had people dressing up and which I did not like.
Because like you never dressed up in that stuff before.
In African gear, and it's kind of disrespectful because if you're not like that, that's okay. Yeah, we're going to see it because of the movie. Yeah, I can understand. Like a Batman come out. Okay, you can dress up like Batman if you want to, because there is no really Batman. There are really African countries who actually dress like that, and you're actually taking. I think it's an offense.
Yeah,
to take to do it like that.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right about that. Because I didn't like that either. They did all of this extravagant stuff about, but like for one thing, you don't even know what Black Panther is. Right. You don't know nothing about Wakanda.
Then they had choreographed dances. Like, do you really know what you're saying? Like, come on now, don't.
So, I'm gonna go down the list. The worst part of the movie is the writing. The absolute worst part is the writing. But the movie does have good performances, a great cast. It does have a mixed bag with the action, mixed bag with the humor. And the soundtrack is busting it. And visually, the movie looks good for a certain part. Yeah, the visuals about 50-52. So, what are your final thoughts about Black Panther?
Well, let's go with what you said, and let's hope that when they get ready to shoot Black Panther 2, they will think a little bit more on, and I don't know who the next bad guy's going to be. Maybe not somebody black, or they might be somebody black. But just let them go with, try to have a good story in it. Mm-hmm. You know, because this movie was just really good actors, and they just put them all up in there.
And I'll say this, even with the end part, which I didn't like it. I did not like the end part. When he went back to the same exact location, and you saw the kids saw the spaceship, and what did the boys say? I hated it. They were talking about stripping it down. I was like, that's a spaceship. You didn't say nothing smart. You said the stupidest thing that you possibly could think of. And I'm like, look, I'm a black dude. Not all black people live in places like Compton or Brooklyn or something like that. Some of us actually live in decent neighborhoods. Why you didn't set the stupid ship there? But I'm done. Like, look, I want to see what they do with Black Panther 2, and I'm sure the guy that does this movie. Okay. Look, I'm all for Black Panther 2, but the guy that directed this movie, because I've seen Creed, and I actually like Creed, but it kind of focused a little bit, kind of like that too. And I hadn't seen Fruitvale Station, but I'm interested in seeing Black Panther 2. But whoever wrote this movie, whoever directed this movie, don't need to do it to the sequel.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you landed in like you say, a hood part of town at the end, and this is what makes it hard for me to, you know, I'm sorry, just black people. Because what's the first thing that popped into that little boy's mind? Is stripping it. We all don't do that. Yeah. we don't all say, okay, I see a nice car. Man, I'm going to strip that down and take it for parts.
And no. That goes back to the whole Killmonger. Killmonger didn't have to be hood.
Right, and you that little boy. So you guys think about his upbringing. His parents, or parent, maybe the mother, teaching him or letting him go about knowing what strip down and sell it means. Strip down a spaceship, something they ain't never seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what they should have either left out or made it a little bit better, because not all of us are like that. We don't think about stripping the car down for parts.
So we'll go ahead and just end it here, guys. I ain't gonna give you my rating until y'all see my actual video that I did of it. But I will say this: go check out the movie, and in the comment section below, let us know if you liked it or not. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to let you know when the best of our stuff is coming out. We're gonna do another video later on today, the best and worst dinosaur movies,
or just dinosaur films.
Yeah. And be sure Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know I've been kind of choppy lately, but I'm trying to work on that. We're gonna be putting up more videos, guys. So we will definitely catch you guys later. Narik and crew, signing out.
Bye.